let's take a look at some equations that involve division. So we have to figure out how we're going to solve them when we're faced with that divided by symbol. Let's take a look at a first one just to get us started here. So here's an equation. X divided by 7 equals 2. So let's just think about what this means. So here we have an equation, and we just don't know what the number x is. It's a mysterious value, and once we figure it out, it's got to be the value so that when I divide it by 7, it's going to yield the number 2. So I'm thinking about this equation as being like a balance scale where it's perfectly balanced. And so to find out what that mysterious x is, what I have to do is I have to somehow deal with the left-hand side so it's just x alone. X equals something. All right, well, how am I going to try to look at this and resolve what x is? Well, here I see x is divided by 7. So I want to undo that division by 7. How do you undo division by 7? Well, it's the inverse. And what's the inverse of multiplication? Well, it's division. And so what's the inverse of division? Multiplication. So if you have x divided by 7, what you want to do to resolve it is multiply by 7. So let's try that. So if I multiply by 7 on this side, and I'm using the dot for multiplication, well, I'm in trouble right now because whatever I do on one side, I have to do the exact same thing on the other. So I have to multiply the right-hand side by 7 as well. So there we have the right-hand side by 7. Well, now, check it out. 7 divided by 7 is just 1, so I'm just left with just 1x on the left, which is what I wanted. And here I see 7 times 2, which is 14. And so this simple multiplying both sides by 7 yields the answer of 14. Correct? We can actually check it really fast by inserting 14 for x in the original equation and see if it yields an identity, see if it's true. Take 14 and divide it by 7, you sure do get 2, so it checks. Great. All right, let's try another one where we can see this kind of division business happening live. This equation says that 36 is going to equal w over 4. Again, we're using w as a variable. Doesn't make a difference. It's just some unknown. We understand it's some number we don't know yet, but we'll figure out soon. Also, the w is on the right-hand side. Don't worry if the unknown is on the right or the left. It's not a problem. The key thing to do is we want to isolate, and at the end of the day, have just w equals and then whatever the number is. So we want to try to undo, in this case, the division by 4. What's the inverse operation to division? It's multiplication. So I'm going to multiply the right and therefore the left to keep the scales of balance adjusted perfectly by 4. So 4 on the left and 4 on the right. What happens here on the right? Well, the 4 over 4 cancels. I'm just left with w equals, so that's good. And 36 times 4, 144. And so I see that w equals 144. And we could check if we wanted to. How would we check? What would you do? Well, you would take this number, 144, and insert it back into the original equation and see if 144 divided by 4 equals 36. And then you check the answer. Neat.